So, this is the story of boy meets girl. Well, Filipino girl, or Filipino girl meets Hmong boy. Now, when I was little, I always had this notion that there were only 5 or 4 different races that made up this whole world, which was pretty much Asian, white, black, and Mexican. At Lone Star, where obviously I went to school, it well, Fresno doesn't have much diversity in the first place. So I always viewed everyone who was a certain race to be or to have a certain personality. That was really bad. I was pretty much a Hitler when I was little. I judged everyone because of their color. And, well, of course, the Asian people, I always saw them as beautiful or cute, and I didn't even see myself as Asian. I always looked at myself as, I'm dark, so I'm Mexican. I always saw Mexican people as ghetto, so I thought I had to be ghetto. Like, it's just the way things are supposed to be. And here in Fresno, really, you don't have many white or black people. So I didn't have to judge many, well, obviously white people looked pretty rich, and black people were just ghetto too. So I thought that those who were richer and poorer were related to each other somehow. So Asian and white people were supposed to only be paired up together, or how am I supposed to say this? Get married. They can only get married, and then Mexican and black people can only get married to them because of them being poor or rich. Obviously, that does not matter anymore. It's much more different. Something I wanted to talk about when I was a little kid, because now, obviously, I've opened my tiny Asian eyes, and I've seen that, obviously, people aren't what you think they are. And that's when I talk about you, honey. I had a very bad experience with Hmong girls, especially during middle school. During kindergarten, I always wanted to be them. I always wished there was some way I could paint my face white and walk around and look pretty and cute and have long hair like them. And I actually did grow out my hair long, if you remember. And, well, thing was, I learned that a lot of the friends I made that were Hmong, I had a lot of bad experiences. Going to parties, there's drinking problems, there's a whole bunch of drama. I know a lot of people who don't even want to deal with girls or guys like this at all. Although I've had my long share of crushes, obviously just Hmong boys. I always thought they were Japanese or Chinese or something when I finally found out there was more than one Asian. When I actually found out I was Filipino, I thought I wasn't meant to be here in the U.S. because there was no Filipinos around. I felt like, well, other than my siblings, of course, I felt like my family and I were just totally excluded. And I was. I didn't know my own language, so the few Filipino kids that were around, well, I couldn't even talk to them much or know about my culture. I was way too Americanized. Always made me jealous how all these Hmong or Laos or Cambodian people at the school, students, these Asians, they were all able to talk like their parents, pretty much. They were able to get along with each other, and of course they could gossip about people. That was another one of I had a really horrible experience with that, I'm pretty sure you know of. But, of course, I see that you don't do that. And even if you really want to, when you gossip, I mean, you'll somehow tell me, sometime not. And then learning another language, finding new friends, new diversity and all that, I love learning all about this, how I can have more than just one friend that isn't just, they could be Asian, they could be black, they could be Mexican, they could be white. You made me learn that not everyone in your culture is horrible. Giving you a chance, I felt like I already told you it wasn't a mistake. And well, I just hope that maybe, just maybe,